Tonight, we conclude our three-part series about fighting ISIS and life in northern Syria. The country has been ravaged by war. Many parts now lie in ruin. In the north, the grip of ISIS is slowly receding. But what happens once ISIS has been pushed out? How does a community rebuild? Special correspondent Gail Zamak-Liman traveled to Manbij, a city that was liberated from ISIS control last year. This story, as well as last night's story about the role of Syria's Kurdish population in the struggle against ISIS, was done in partnership with the Pulitzer Center on Crisis Reporting.
In a neighborhood that looks like this, one front door is hard to miss.
Why the color blue?
Because it's the color of happiness.
Abdul Qadir Ali Aboud is a construction worker, born and raised in Manbij, northern Syria. His home in the neighborhood of Hazani was hit by an airstrike in the fighting that pushed ISIS out exactly 1 year ago.
It's been 2 months since we began renovation. When we first saw the damage, we were sad. But then we realized that we'd escaped the injustice of ISIS, and it was worth it. Everything can be made right.
As the fight to defeat the so-called Islamic State pushes forward, the question of what comes next comes up again and again. 1 year on, this town offers a look at the possibilities and the pitfalls when it comes to rebuilding and restarting after ISIS. Manbij was an ISIS stronghold and saw some of the most savage fighting of the 3-year battle. But returning life to normal takes time, and pushing ISIS out is just the start. For the past year, residents have struggled to rebuild. Ibrahim Kaftan leads the Executive Council of Manbij, working to get services to residents.
We are done with the military side. We escaped ISIS at home, but we still need civil services. People are looking for public services more than anything else.
The challenges remain. The city still has no phone service. But compared to 1 year ago, he says, Manbij has made great strides in health, governance, and education. And he says there are lessons to be learned as the diverse population of Manbij, both Arab and Kurdish, has pushed forward together.
What is the lesson the world should learn from Manbij?
Brotherhood, national brotherhood. For the world to succeed, we must act like brothers. To us, Armenians, Turkmen, Alawites, Druze are all part of Syria. We want them all to be one family. This is our main lesson.
But brotherhood is fragile amid the pressure of war. The city's population of around 200,000 has doubled with the arrival of displaced families from across the country, Captain says, and tensions have emerged. The Aswad family arrived here 2 months ago after fleeing the ongoing violence in their home city of Raqqa. They've taken up residence here in a relative's Manbij home. But they say they face discrimination, particularly from other Arab residents who see that they're from Raqqa and treat them like ISIS sympathizers.
When we first arrived and said we are from Raqqa, they immediately judged us. They accused us of being ISIS. Yes, we lived in Raqqa, but we were helpless. We didn't deal with ISIS. We just went to work, and that was it.
When we go to the bakery, people complain that there's no bread left because of the refugees from Raqqa. Nothing is like home. We hope it will be freed and we can go back.
Shervan Darwish of the Manbij Military Council has witnessed these internal divisions and challenges ever since the battle that liberated his city.
The start of liberation was a challenge. It is hard to organize a city that was ruled by terror for 2 years. And after we freed Manbij, we needed to clear the city from the ISIS ideology.
The fate of Manbij has also been complicated by another factor: geography. The town sits just 25 miles from its watchful Turkish neighbor. It lies on a fault line within Syria. The regime of President Bashar al-Assad to the west, U.S.-backed Kurdish and Arab forces to the east, and an ISIS insurgency that is on its heels but far from gone, Darwish says.
Turkey is trying to destabilize us. The regime also wants Manbij. ISIS is still here and also working against us. For a year, we have not had any internal disorder or attack from inside, but we have had attacks from outside.
Despite a year without ISIS, Turkish military incursions remain a threat. Turkish airstrikes killed Syrian Democratic forces near Manbij last year, and the city remains a flashpoint between the U.S. and Turkey. U.S. forces now regularly patrol the city. Back in Abdul Qadir's neighborhood, talk of war amid the renovations. Rafiq Fuad Ali, Abdul Qadir's cousin, is mourning his younger brother, killed last month on the Raqqa battlefield. He shows us his pictures.
I am proud my brother was killed by ISIS. I'm proud of him. We want to defeat injustice and remove the ISIS name from everywhere.
He says he will shortly leave Manbij and return to battle himself.
I don't mind being killed if it gives the younger generation proper life and education. It is not about ourselves. We must improve the future of the next generation, not ours.
Abdul Qadir, too, focuses now on the next generation, doing his part to restore their future and paint over their past.
ISIS would hang people for 3 days in the circle, and the children would see them. I try not to let them see such things, and I painted the walls blue so they would forget about the black darkness. I want happiness and joy for my children and neighbors.
He says restoring his house helps him share that joy and create new memories.
You have paint on your hands, you've been working all day. How does it feel after this day's work?
Life is going well, thanks be to God. My greatest joy has been overcoming ISIS, and we hope for a bright future. As long as we are over these thugs, we are doing well.
1 year on, he says, he and his city have both made a good start at something better. As the fight against ISIS nears its end in Raqqa, the story of Manbij is one many will look to for inspiration. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Gail Zermak-Laman in Manbij, Syria.